It's a day nursery in the East End of London. The children are taking shelter in a linen cupboard during an air raid. A young man is delivering ramen in 1935. Bruce Lee's workout routine from the 1960s reflects his dedication to physical fitness and martial arts training. This photo was taken to promote the 1956 American science fiction film Forbidden Planet. It shows actress Anne Francis and robot Robbie. So, a drive-in liquor store, that's in Los Angeles, California, in 1949. In 1939, British inventor Charles Lawson created Superman Dennis, a 7-foot-tall robot. Hooverville in California, 1936. Marble Arch Tube Station, 1900. Amelia Earhart sits in the cockpit of her Lockheed Electra just before starting her second try to fly around the equator. Earhart and her co-pilot, Frederick Noonan, wouldn't come back from this trip in 1937. Men with a Leopard at Dongan Mission, 1932. Makeup artist Jack Pierce is putting Boris Karloff into character on the set of The Bride of Frankenstein in 1935. Dad's office, John Jr.'s playground. There's a sign from the Prohibition and Anti-Saloon League speaking out against liquor. Confederate defenses at Centerville, Virginia, in 1862. There's a Quaker gun. These fake guns helped deceive Army of the Potomac commander George McClellan into believing he faced a larger and better equipped Confederate force. Brazilian Emperor Pedro II, in front of the Great Sphinx of Giza in 1871. A British couple sleeps inside a Morrison shelter, which was used as protection from collapsing homes during the World War II Blitz bombing raids. This was in March of 1941. The United Artists Theater, Los Angeles, around 1928. A group of gay men poses for a photo while being detained at a police station for being homosexuals in Mexico, 1935. British troops cheerfully board their train for the first stage of their trip to the Western Front. This was in England, September 20th, 1939. Children are fishing in Victoria Park, London in 1953. Around 1954, people at Wimbledon made hats out of newspapers to keep the sun off their heads. Afghan women, dressed casually, are using a public library before the 1950s when the Taliban ruled. Dolly Parton in the late 1960s. There's a young woman sand surfing near Seaside, Oregon in 1941. Carpenter's Food Stand, drive-in service on West Sunset Boulevard and Vine Street in Los Angeles, 1930s. War-orphaned Vietnamese babies are flown to Los Angeles International Airport on April 12, 1975. A person is reading in front of a bookstore that was destroyed during a London air raid in 1940. A journalist dashes across a bridge to rescue a baby during the Civil War in 1936. Ludgers Hall train station on the Midland and Southwestern Junction Railway in 1901. The first ever walking event took place in 1922 for blind veterans. Batman is riding an elephant. It was 1967. A young person is riding a cow to school in Washington in 1907. Kitty Canutt, champion lady rider of the world on Winnemucca, is up on a bucking bronco. This was in 1919. Around 1968, a 2-year-old is spreading her paint pretty liberally during an art class in London for young children. Miss Alice Rayleigh, president of the Anti-Flirt Club, Washington, D.C., around 1923. "15-year-old Harry S. Truman, 1899. A black man and a white woman are embracing on a New York subway. It was a controversial image for its time, the late 1960s. The face of the Custom House clock in Boston was repainted by a worker in 1976. A man searches for books in the former Cincinnati Public Library. The building was demolished in 1955. Today there's an office building and parking lot where it used to stand. It's a dinner party at the Hotel Astor in New York City in 1904. 1944. A veterinary surgeon is helping a dog on the street. He had to close his business because of damage from a wartime bomb. It's August 24, 1958, at Fort Chaffee, Arkansas. Elvis Presley is being sworn into the United States Army. He's standing with his father, Vernon, and his friend, Charlie Hodge. He's wearing a dark suit, and his hair is still styled in his famous pompadour. A demonstrator is at a gay rights demonstration in 1970. All right, here's how a man changes a smelly diaper from the United States in the 1960s. The man, probably the father, holds the baby on the changing table. He takes off the soiled diaper. He lifts the baby's legs to clean the baby with a fresh, warm washcloth. Next, he puts on the fresh diaper, fastening it. After that, he might hold the baby up to his shoulder to burp. He then plays with the baby. There's a Parisian woman with her cat in her cannabis garden during the 1910s. Imagine the dining room for third-class passengers on the Olympic Titanic's sister ship. It was a spacious room, stretching across the ship and capable of seating around 473 people. The room had long tables made of plain wood, arranged to maximize space. The tables were set with basic utilitarian crockery and cutlery. The atmosphere was simple and functional, designed to accommodate a large number of people efficiently. Elizabeth Taylor here with her brother, Howard Taylor, in 1937. British tattoo artist George Burchett, the king of tattooists, around 1930. The year is 1914. It's a picture of animals on both sides of the camera. Romy Schneider and Alain Delon, Paris, 1959. Hattie McDaniel became the first black woman to win an Academy Award for her role in Gone with the Wind in 1940. Workers are trimming the tallest yew hedge in the world. It was planted in 1720 by the first Earl of Bathurst. This is at Bathurst Estate in the Cotswolds, England, in 1962. Wojtek, the World War II soldier bear, is being fed by a soldier. Jeffrey Dahmer at high school with a fellow student. A boy is on Krampus's shoulders during a parade in Mitterndorf, Austria, on the 6th of December, 1949. A chimney sweeper leaves an unwanted mark on a young lady. This happened in London, 1971. NBC's Meet the Press has had a lot of politicians and world leaders on the program during its 77-plus years on air. In 1959, Castro appeared on the program while on a visit to the U.S. a few months after taking power. It's the Empire State Building, under construction, back in 1930. So there's a bike club in 1885. The effect of syphilis before salvarsan and penicillin became available from 1880 to 1910. Jane Mansfield is posing with Miss Hollywood of 1957. Abraham Lincoln's funeral hearse was elaborate and ornate, 1865. A bed without an electric blanket was created by Milton Fairchild of Washington, D.C. It was a contraption designed to keep a person warm, but without the hassle of using covers. This happened in 1927. Glass tops for convertibles, similar to the blisters and bubbles made by the same company for warplanes, were introduced in Los Angeles in the 1950s. Audrey Hepburn is acting goofy in front of the camera. Taken near the Mexican border in 1929. A woman is playing a piano. This piano was designed for people who were confined to bed in 1935. The Great Promenade Deck of the Titanic in 1912. Chief Irontail is cranking an early automobile. The year is 1915. U.S. Navy men are posing with the Eagle they rescued in the North Pacific in 1944. Berlin, 1936 Olympic Games. Jackie Cheeseman is riding the wing of a Tiger Moth biplane at Wycombe Air Park, Buckinghamshire, England. It was 1968. This is a baseball team of child laborers from an Indiana glass factory. It's 1908. Four Boys Jamming, 1928. The Storyville Jazz Club in Copenhagen, Denmark, 1952. This creepy man seems to be suffering from a bizarre medical condition. Imagine it's the 1920s, and you're learning to swim. First, you might start with a swim class. A teacher would demonstrate strokes and kicks. You'd likely use a kickboard to practice. They would teach you the front crawl, the breaststroke, and maybe even the side stroke. The pool might have a shallow end for beginners and a deep end for those who were more advanced. You'd spend a lot of time just getting comfortable in the water. You might even wear a wool bathing suit, maybe with a cap. There were always lifeguards on duty to keep everyone safe. It's 1947, and we're looking at high school teenagers. What a cigar! It was December 1st, 1933. W. Cox is smoking an outsized cigar at the 43rd anniversary dinner of the Eccentrics Club. The dinner was held in the Grosvenor House Hotel, London. She was born in 1933 and grew up during the Great Depression. Her parents were farmers and she had 7 siblings. They didn't have much, but they always made the best of it. Times were tough, but they had each other. The expanding fireball and shockwave of the Trinity explosion, seen 0.025 seconds after detonation on July 16, 1945. During the war, Princess Elizabeth served her country as a mechanic. A French boy introduces himself to Indian soldiers who had just arrived in France to fight alongside French and British forces. This happened in Marseille on the 30th of September, 1914. Richard J. Gatling, shown with the Bulldog model of 1893. The mother homeschools her children in Louisiana, 1937. Robert Wadlow, the tallest man in history, was 8 feet, 11 inches tall. A Korean War orphan in 1950. The war separated numerous family members from each other. With the peninsula still divided, most have died without ever being reunited with their relatives. Life goes on. The grave of 3 German soldiers is on the Havel River in Berlin, 1946. On July 12, 1922, bathing beauties were being arrested for defying a Chicago edict banning abbreviated bathing suits on beaches. Male models. The 12th of April, 1932. Male mannequins are being critically looked at by the ladies during the fashion parade at the Textile Exchange at St. Paul's Churchyard in East London. On June 27, 1916, there was a street gang in Springfield, Massachusetts. Alright, so we're talking about the radar range, the very first commercial microwave oven. And this was all the way back in 1947. A German V-1 flying bomb is pictured moments before impact in London in June 1944. Eunice Winstead Johns, who was 9 years old, and her husband, Charlie Johns, who was 24 years old, in Tennessee, 1937. Conjoined twins, and they both have mustaches. The year is 1890. It's Paris, 1976 to 1979. This is Pigalle, Paris, in 1978. Alright, so it's 1942 and there's a protest happening in Brooklyn, New York. The topic? They're protesting the ban on high school girls wearing slacks. It's very, very sad to see the Afghanistan of female medical students and a female professor now.